One of the most recognizable faces of the pandemic is retiring. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the top infectious disease expert in the United States, says he's going to step down by the end of the year. Fauci has advised 7 presidents, and he oversaw the U.S. response to a number of infectious disease threats, including HIV/AIDS. And the CBC's Julia Wong is tracking this developing story for us. She joins me now live from Washington. So, Julia, what more can you tell us about Dr. Fauci's announcement?
So, Arthi, that announcement broke just a couple hours ago, and it seems like people here in Washington and across the country are still trying to digest it. Now, Fauci has had a long career. He's been in public service for a number of years. He spent 38 years as the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and as you mentioned, he served under several presidents of different political stripes. He also advised them on a number of infectious diseases, as you mentioned, HIV/AIDS, but also West Nile, anthrax, and most recently, COVID-19. Now, this pandemic is where most Americans know him from. They saw him on TV constantly. They learned his name. For some, he was a source of calm during a very tricky time. For others, they weren't really happy with what he was saying. So he faced lots of different emotions from Americans. He became one of the most well-known faces of the pandemic, and he delivered public health advice in his very distinct Brooklyn accent with his straightforward attitude. Here he is answering a question from a reporter during the very start of the pandemic in March 2020.
Americans be prepared for the likelihood that there will be 100,000 Americans who die from this virus?
The answer is yes. We need, as sobering a number as that is, we should be prepared for it.
Now, it was under the first part of the pandemic that Fauci was serving under former President Donald Trump, and the two at times had quite a contentious relationship. There were times that Trump would bring him into briefings and say one thing, and then you would see Fauci come on after him and try to diplomatically correct him. So it was a very, at times, tense relationship between the two of them. And Fauci said that during that time, he also received several death threats, difficult for him, difficult for his family, and he received backlash from politicians who weren't really happy with the public health advice that he was giving about how Americans should be living their lives during this pandemic. Here's a heated exchange he had with Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky from earlier this year.
Why would Senator want to do this? So go to Rand Paul website and you see Fire Dr. Fauci with a little box that says contribute here. You can do $5, $10, $20, $100. So you are making a catastrophic epidemic for your political gain. So the
you have politically attacked your colleagues and in a politically reprehensible way attacked their reputations.
Okay,
you won't defend it.
No,
you won't argue it. You'll just simply turn around the attack.
Now, Fauci also served under current President Joe Biden. He served as his chief medical advisor, a role that he will also be stepping down from. In a statement released just after Fauci announced he was stepping down, Biden thanked Fauci for his years of public service.
And now, Julia, we know that Dr. Fauci, I mean, he's 81. He's seen so much over the course of his career. Do we know what's next for him at this stage of his life?
Yeah, so what struck out at me from his statement is the fact that he said he's not retiring, even though, as you mentioned, he is 81 years old. In fact, he says he's moving on to the next phase of his career while he still has his energy and passion for his field. Now, the exact details of what that next phase of his career are not immediately clear, but we do know that in his statement he says he wants to continue to advance public health and monitor the next generation of scientific leaders. So it's clear he doesn't want to be going away anytime soon. He wants to still keep working in public health. He still wants to contribute to public health, and we know that he will still be working in his capacity for the next little while because that plan to officially resign will take effect in December. Arthi.
Thanks for this, Julia. That is the CBC's Julia Wong in Washington.